Welcome to the freewheeling cavalcade of circular motion, thus defined by the octagon table of double-wide mental introspection and dedicated utilitarian outward thinking in defense of zero content. Translation: we got nothing. Hey folks, Dude here. Coming to you again. Another edition of Dude After Dark. This one's going to be the post-cold episode of visiting Sniffleville. So if you see me grab something and start honking away, that's why. I'm about probably about 90-95% at this point. Sometimes though, the nose is still a very deep resonance chamber of just it's not happy. Okay, so I'm basically dealing with the fact that the nose is going to be something that I'm probably just going to be grabbing a tissue for every once in a while. So I'm forewarning anybody that if you see me grabbing a tissue paper and blowing. No, sound guy. No, it does not sound like. No, it does not sound like that when I blow my nose. Okay, stop that. That does not sound like that in the slightest. Doesn't sound like that either. All right. So anyway, looking in the room, we have got Martina Sasquatch. Appreciate you coming on by, dude. Just like the bugs in Alien, I'm here. Oh man. Okay. Well, there's always that comes up to play, and yes, unfortunately, the bugs in Alien are. Yeah. Don't look at the thing that looks like a really badly done flower pot. Okay. If you do, you're gonna get a face hugger. Yeah. It's no. You don't want the face hugger. Okay. Avoid the face hugger whenever possible because, well. Yeah, you're done, dude. Okay, don't do the face hugger in Aliens because, well,
that's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Yeah, you're just done. Okay, so let's look at the speaking of bugs. Speaking of bugs, what else can we possibly say? Well, it is time to talk about, well, of all things that we can't really say on YouTube. Twitter, and of course, obviously Facebook, where we're talking about the
Chinese Communist COVID viral infection.
Yeah, and guess who got it? Well, of all people, Her Thyness, according to other online entities and desk type people. Her Thyness, Hillary Rotten Clinton, tested positive for, yeah, man, she tested positive for
the Chinese Communist COVID viral infection.
That's right. She was fully,
The Chinese Communist COVID viral infection.
Yeah, she had received the, actually, wrong part of the timeline. She'd received, actually, let me get that right. She'd received, yeah, and in the process of getting the, potentially you could say probably it didn't fix anything because she's still a fugly looking, just evil. Yeah, you could say that potentially it looked like somebody said, okay, we're going to do plastic surgery on her with and it didn't fix her for one single beat because she still looks King Nasty. That's right. We're talking about King Nasty. Now you can remember, you can imagine what the first part of the king is. So let's just say that she still looks King Nasty. Anyway, so former Secretary of State Hillary Rotten Crotch Clinton announced late last Tuesday she tested positive for
the Chinese Communist COVID viral infection.
And she noted her symptoms were mild, a fact she could attribute to the fact that she got, well,
The Chinese Communist COVID viral infection.
Vince Foster would disagree with her methodology for getting the, the Chinese Communist covert viral infection. Yeah, some people would disagree. Anyway, so never mind the fact that obviously the
Chinese Communist COVID viral infection.
at this point in time is not a planned, and I'm saying like planned as opposed to pan, but a planned demic. It is now an end score of the demic. So it's now an end score demic. Let's see. Patriot Fever. Appreciate you coming on by there, Patriot Fever. Looking in the room, got a couple people hanging out with me tonight. But yeah, it basically looks like pretty much that this thing is petering out, like any virus. Excuse me one second. I'm going to crank on my fan here. Like any virus, and I'm talking about computer virus there, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. We're talking about a computer virus, any kind of computer virus that gets infected in your system. Well, obviously you have to use some form of anti-malware or basically some good program. You know what I'm talking about, guys. You have to use the correct program, right? The right kind of computer program. Right. So you basically take care of the virus you downloaded, and we're talking about computer stuff here, Facebook, Twitter, and obviously YouTube. We're talking about a computer virus, not like anything that you would need to get a. Oh, that sound effect is the 44 Magnum shot. Nothing that you would have to get a 44 Magnum shot for. So anyway, looking at things as it is, this thing's petering out, okay? Every version that seems to be coming by actually is one of those things where your human immune system, and obviously there's two, okay, if the nuts and bolts of it on the human immune system is there's two forms. One, there is the innate. That's what you got. No matter what, that's what you got. You got like a whole little slew of pharmacology just waiting to go to work there. And you have the acquired. So between the innate and the acquired, it's going to go, okay, I'm going to stick all these puzzle pieces. That didn't work. I'm going to stick all these other little pieces in there. It didn't work. I'm going to stick all these other things in there. That didn't work. Oh, wait a minute. We got something that fits. We just have to let it go to work so the body now can learn this new little bougie that you're now duking it out with. So in the process of having the, obviously the, that's which, is man altered and stuffed into the human body. Potentially most of the population on the planet didn't get the 44 Magnum shot. They acquired it naturally. They duked it out with it naturally. And obviously in the process of doing that, the versions that are then one of those little spread around guys, it's knocked down. It's not, here's another little secret. The flu and the cold both were absolutely lethal. So eventually somebody got a version of it and their body goes, oh, this, I can fight this. And it dukes it out with that version, knocks it down to nothing. And obviously in the process of knocking it down to nothing, that's the one they transmit to others. Other people get the one that's now survivable. Obviously they pass it on with their own little version of innate or acquired internal workings. And they proceed to just make the little bougie go.
1 minute to auto-destruct.
And it is just a full-on case of, if it does get into you and you are one of those people that is able to combat it,
No zone.
that's right. You become the hardcore.
No zone.
That's right. You become the no zone. So in the process of intaking this nasty little bougie, you then are able to fight it off on your own without some laboratory bastard. I have yet to get any kind of. Yeah, I will not get the. No. There is absolutely no way, realm, or possibility on planet Earth I will ever get the.
The Chinese Communist COVID viral infection.
Ain't happening, dude. You're not sticking that Hess hit in me. Anyway, so looking in the room, Bear Kishon, appreciate you coming on by. Martinez Sasquatch. Cylon logic bombs are my favorite viral infection to deal with. Now, where's Dr. Baltar? I gotta say, man, that the Cylons this time around, or the latest iteration they're in, they're actually were pretty cute, but you gotta watch out who messes with your fracking stuff, man. That's just not good. the robot chicken versions of the Cylon, Battlestar Galactica things were absolutely uproarious. I commend them to you. Who put something in my fracking coffee? It's like, how do we cuss without cussing on Battlestar Galactica? I don't know what the frack you're talking about. Yeah, good stuff like that there. All right, so let's scrolly. Oh, Peppermint Pisaki tested positive for yes.
The Chinese Communist COVID viral infection.
So she missed out on some trips. So Peppermint Pisaki also had the crud, and she couldn't attend to hang out with, well, you know him, you love him. We have to talk about President, yeah, because there's only one person that can make an entrance quite like the name is. I love the fart at the end. But yeah, there's another video, and I don't know what the occasion was, but there was a gathering on like a dais or some party situation or something, and there was a group of like military guys off on one side, and you see Joe Kaka kind of going, walking around aimlessly, staring at this curtain in front of him until finally it's just like, it's like the gears started clicking, and I don't know what could have happened there, but basically what happened was he was staring at the wall until all of a sudden, the synapses reconnected, and I know what I'm doing. Wow. Just wow. There's no other way to tell you except for just simply watching the video how considered Joe Kaka is right now. And man, I gotta tell you what, he is not looking particularly on point. Okay, it could be said that he is jacked. Okay, just completely, just. Yeah, just not there. Anyway, so she got the crud. Hitlery got the crud. I don't know if you guys caught up on this one or not, but there is a video of an audio clip, and it is about Nan Genscher's Pelosi carrying on about eating at 5:30 at peasant times. Really? Eating at 5:30 is peasant times. If there was ever an elitist CUN Toledo who really needs to get the foot square to ass and booted out of any leadership position, booted out of any representative position, booted out of any government position whatso blanking ever, it is Nan Pelosi. That Wicked Witch of the East needs to go west. And if you guys don't know the reference to me referring to her as the Wicked Witch of the East, well, let's just give you a little bit of a history lesson here. The Pelosi enterprise was not the Pelosi enterprise. It was the fact of her father and of all the other relations therein. They have a Chicago-style machine operation in Baltimore. And for time and eternal, they were the most corrupting influences ever applied to Baltimore City ever. And in the process of being the corrupted, corruptible, and corruption-laden group of particular butt bungs, she exported those learned facts, factoids, and ways of doing things out west when she moved to California, became a representative, and forever since, she's been doing things in the Chicago way in lieu of the corrupted, unbelievably corruption-ridden Baltimore City style of doing anything. Just give me 1 second here. Now, I can tell you for a fact, doing Uber and Lyft, which I haven't done much Lyft in a long time, passengers I have who happen to be city residents, be they black, white, or any other stripe of the rainbow, they know the city doesn't get squat done. And it is one of the most corruption-ridden entities on planet Earth. As a matter of fact, it could be said that they really truly didn't fight very, very hard when they were ransomwared, because they knew if the information got back and it ever was audited, well, they'd find out just where the money went. Where did the money go? Nobody can tell you for certain, except it got spent. And of that, I say, air quotes, it got spent. Yeah. And it's not like Maryland's not corrupt in the first place, folks. I mean, they do some dirty chicanery in the state legislature, state, Senate, call it what you will, of high levels, and they do stuff that is completely disgusting. Now, in Maryland, there is a balanced budget amendment in the state constitution. They gotta hit, X number for X number, boom, has to be on point, or somebody is in trouble. Now, what they do is they spend like, crazy. They spend like drunken liberals, and they put the country's best, amounts of monies that they possibly can generate in this state to great expenditure of stupid projects and, of course, liberal enterprises. Now, when they run short of funds, what do? Well, they go, we got to make up all this money that we've, quote unquote, air quotes, spent. So what do? The federal highway funds that are intended for keeping up the roadways, repairing bridges, repairing tunnels, doing all those other various things that keep the roadways in function, they take that money and they put it in the state coffers to get where you're in the red, and they get back into the black. So I can tell you for a fact, and bouncing around like I'm running the Dakar Rally in Baltimore City, there's a reason why those streets suck. It is the only incorporated city in Maryland, and it is run like a third world dictatorship, poorly in that regard. The rest of the state, the roads are I live in Baltimore County now, and the roads are okay. I wouldn't say that they're spectacular. They're not bad. They're not good. They're okay. In Baltimore City, they're nothing short of abysmal. And you can ask anybody that lives in the city, in any part of the city, the roads flat out suck. There is no other way to say that except for truly what it is. I don't know if you guys caught up on this one or not, but this is reason 767.4392478 infinitum why you don't buy a Ford. Ford Motor Company announced on Friday it was recalling over 700,000 vehicles. Ford made the move after determining the recalled cars might have a faulty part that could cause either oil leakage or a software bug that could inhibit safe braking. It's pretty safe to say that that's not a good thing, folks, okay? Yeah. So, Ford, in the interest of, yet again, is really not worried about until the government steps in and says, fix it. And that's only after probably several people were going, splat. So let's see what these little tokenly just bad execution vehicles are. So anyway, it is the yeah, this is cute. It is 2020 to 2022 Ford Escape and 2021 and 2022 Bronco Sport vehicles, according to Reuters. Reuters. That's what it is. Reuters. So an oil separator in the vehicle's 1.5 liter engines that could crack. The crack puts the cars at risk of an engine fire due to an oil leak. Ford is aware of at least 8 engine fires that are connected to this issue. Thankfully, Reuters reported none of the incidents resulted in injury or crashes. Starting April 18, the company will notify owners of all vehicles risking a defect, and Ford dealers will replace the housing if necessary, the Detroit Free Press reported. Also recalled are 391,836 of the company's 2021, 2022 F-150, 2022 Maverick, Expedition, Lincoln Navigator, F-250, F-350, F-450, and F-550 vehicles. Ford believes these vehicles are software errors could result in towed vehicles being unable to brake. Wow. This is like what they're built for. And it's really truly just one of those things where you just see things in its operation and they do it poorly. Hang on a sec. I gotta let somebody in. The dog was trying to pounce on people trying to come inside. So anyway, Ford basically doesn't even really build cars anymore. They basically build trucks. And truthfully, they're not even building good trucks anymore when you start having situations where the towed vehicle that's supposed to be in operation with the master vehicle doesn't know, oh yeah, the brakes are on. Wow. Almost 750,000 vehicles, folks. I would not be buying a Ford. That's just it right there. I would not be buying a Ford. I'm going to switch up a little bit here and basically switch on over something maybe just a little bit more than slightly. Oh, we are talking extreme. Oh, no. This is not snoo. This is extreme, complete, and total. Oh, absolutely. All right. So George Soros, who actually is a Magyar like myself, so basically of Hungarian origin, lost big time. And I'm not talking just a little bit. We're talking just no. Not snoo. No, he didn't get any snoo. There was no snoo whatsoever on this one. But according to the current vote count, Victor, and I gotta really be not good here, but Orbán's Federist party has 1% of the seats in the National Assembly. It was a tightly contested election as the EU, an open society, spent millions to dethrone Europe's most respected conservative voice. This is fourth time being elected into office as the head guy. And I got to tell you, man, this really pisses off Soros because Soros put scads. Let's just say he put a lot of how do I say this without saying this? He put in a whole bunch of and it did not work out for him. So anyway, Premier Orbán claims great victory in Hungarian election despite a massive Soros assault. In the face of massive opposition from the EU and George Soros, Viktor Orbán's, I guess it's Fedezis. I don't know. I don't speak Hungarian. I'm sorry. I'm really bad in that regard. Seems to have triumphed in Hungarian national elections. And speaking in Budapest, he basically was like, we won yet again. Screw you, Soros. So that's good, shiznit. I don't know if you heard about this one or not, but yet another majorly leftard enterprise has gone the way of the dodo. Just give me 1 second here. This one coming in from conservativefighters.com. Today's the last day. BuzzFeed disaster worsens as the news app shuts down. So, BuzzFeed was forced to tighten its belt again by axing the BuzzFeed News app, which comes a little more than a week after reports are indicating the money-losing news organization would shut down its newsroom. On Friday evening, the BuzzFeed News app posted its final notification. Quote, well, folks, today's the last day of the BuzzFeed News app. Thanks for all the memories. See you all out there. End quote. The app's demise came after the company released abysmal first quarter results. CNBC noted several large investors urged BuzzFeed CEO Jonah Peretti to shutter the company's newsroom. What a novel idea to reduce expenses as the company loses more than $10 million a year. Yeah. In February, a hiring freeze was reported as investors were furious with the media company's lack of profitability. ill-advised shopping spree of other media firms, crashing stock price post SPAC debut. Investor redemptions have occurred concurrently as the share price has been halved since the SPAC debut in December. BuzzFeed's downward spiral is particularly troubling for Peretti's buying spree of media companies without a robust valuation. The firm recently bought out Complex and the Huffington Post, two deals that have yet to pay off in terms of revenue. Wow. And the management claimed in recent presentation to investors, it has grandiose ambitions of expanding its commerce business and its advertising and content businesses. I don't think that's going to happen, guys. Troublingly, the abysmal performance of the company's stock price has placed this post-SPAC growth strategy, hoovering up other failing digital brands further out of reach since BuzzFeed's stock is a currency it's supposed to be dependent on. The death of BuzzFeed News app newsroom, along with the hiring fees, may only suggest the money-losing media company is in dire straits. If I was Elon Musk right about now, I would buy BuzzFeed and I would make it profitable because I would make it actually put the news stories out there that people want to listen to. Yeah. Speaking of, most extreme case of, how do I say this without saying this?
Come on, squeal.
But I pooped from there.
Did it really need the ding there? Orange? No. Orange is being Snoopy. Anyway, so what's going on is there is here's the news story, okay? There is a college called Oberlin College. And they actually had some of their blacks go into a bakery and try to steal stuff. Well, they got caught in the process. They punched one of the employees that was catching them in the process of stealing stuff. And unfortunately for the students, they were identified, they were busted, they were charged, and they were made to state most clearly why they were busted was because they were stealing and it was not racially motivated. Now, the mere fact that it actually happened to be 3 black students that stole the stuff, got busted, and didn't want to play racial games wasn't quite enough for Oberlin College. It gets better than this, folks. It really gets better than this. But let's just say that Oberlin College stated that Gibson Bakery, a 135-year-old family business near the campus of Oberlin College, was the site of the unfortunate incidents. This one also coming in from Conservative Fighters. The owner's son was allegedly confronted by 3 black Oberlin students who attempted to shoplift bottles of wine. According to police report, one of the students assaulted the store employee while confronting about the stolen wine. The 3 students pled guilty to attempted theft and aggravated trespassing, and, quote, said in statements required by a plea agreement and their actions were wrong and the store wasn't racist, according to CBS News. So, following the incident, the Oberlin College Student Senate passed a resolution claiming that the bakery, quote, has a history of racial profiling and discriminatory treatment of students and residents alike, end quote, despite any evidence. The Senate called for the students to, quote, immediately cease all support, financial and otherwise, to Gibson's, end quote, and called upon Oberlin College President Marvin Krislov to publicly condemn the bakery. Well, the bakery didn't take this sitting down, and they launched a lawsuit in 2017 in which they asserted that the campaign launched by the small liberal arts college in Northern Ohio was not only unfounded, but crippled their business. So, in 2019, Lorain County Judge John Moraldi ordered Oberlin to pay the bakery over $40 million in damages. The figure was later reduced to $25 million plus $6.2 million for the bakery's lawyer fees. The award is the largest defamation verdict in Ohio history, according to the Washington Examiner. On Thursday, Ohio's North District Court of Appeals upheld the previous court decision and ruled that Oberlin College must pay more than $31 million to Gibson's Bakery. The decision cited, quote, the active role that Oberlin played in the publication of the Senate resolution, end quote, and demanded a boycott of the bakery, according to the Chronicle of Higher Education. Quote, at trial, it is absolutely clear to the jury, as reflected by the verdict, there's not one shred of truth in the vicious statements about Gibson's, and the college caused devastating harm. The law firm representing the Gibson family proclaimed the truth prevailed. An Oberlin spokesman issued a statement to the legal insurrection stating the school was obviously disappointed the appeals court affirmed the judgment in the ruling earlier today. Yeah. Quote, we are reviewing the court's opinion carefully as we evaluate our options and determine next steps, the spokesperson added. Translation, you're not going to do squat except enjoy just a nice, healthy bit of, cut the check, assholes. Yeah, you're not going to win this one. But Oberlin College has an annual tradition of nearly $60,000. Oberlin Director of Media Relations, Scott Wergo, we remain committed to strengthening the partnership between the college, the city of Oberlin and its residents, and the downtown business community. We will continue in that important work while remaining focused on our core educational mission. That's a nothing statement saying we basically just got... And we can't even lay facts to anything because we were a bunch of, yeah, you guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed more than just a little bit of
Death!
Square up the pooper. Hope you enjoyed it. You earned it. Disgusting. I don't know if you guys had a chance to look at this guy, but he's not a conservative. And anybody that happens to be a voter in from Pennsylvania that has anything to do with him whatsoever, do not vote for, quote unquote, Dr. Oz, end quote. He's got a history. He's actually attended, fundraisers with Clinton friends and Epstein associates. He's been those places where, the Hollywood guys are obviously doing stuff and what have you. And, he's been there. He's been around, okay? So he says that he's now a good Republican in good stead, and he's hoping people are going to go in the ignorance of, oh yeah, there was a guy on TV, he seemed really likable and blah 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 blah. No, he's not that guy, okay? Do not vote for Dr. Oz. There's other people that are running against him and running against the incumbents. Vote for them instead. Do not vote for Dr. Oz. I don't know if you got a little bit of news on this one, but this guy, orange is underneath my desk again. This guy really is, he's a piece of work, man. I mean, just a royal piece. We're talking about of nobody else but Lonnie Coons. Yeah, a Republican who is a primary challenger to Representative Elise Stefanik, who is a Republican in New York. Hang on a second here. I get these stupid pop-ups again. Go away. For the 21st Congressional District of New York, who has dropped out after allegations of illegally filing petition sheets. It gets better, folks. It gets better. Parked at a Walmart on March 24, Coons, a trucker and a veteran who is allegedly anti-Trump, was video recorded in his car signing petitions for himself, unaware he is being recorded at the time. Yeah, how much of a piece of crap are you that you need to rah-rah yourself by basically filling out the forms and say, this guy's ace, vote for him. Yeah, GOP candidates need at least 1,250 signatures to be seen on the ballot on April 4. According to election law, all the petition signatures appearing on the ballot should have original marks from the signers themselves. Quote, I am dropping out of the race mainly because I cannot sustain a political campaign on my own, he said, according to the Press Republican. Quote, I've stayed afloat by pulling out half my 401k, and that is not enough, end quote. According to Just the News, Coons wrote a now-deleted Facebook post. Quote, it has come to my attention I've been fraudulently filing information on my petition sheets. I was unaware that by filling in my date and city cells as well as printing names of the signees, after the fact, I am committing a fraudulent act. Okay, this is my face. This is my WTF face. Dude, you need to get the people who want you on there on the petition as their own entities. Not you going, well, here's Joe Bloss Nollis, and he really likes me, and here's Bill something or other, and he's really great about me, and oh yeah, Sally Sleazebag thinks I'm just ducky. You can't do that, dude. You can't, okay? He later told the outlet, quote, I had people who had lined out their names in order to correct it, so I recreated the messed up pages, end quote, asserting he didn't alter the signatures, just the names and the information of the signers. No, dude, no. Quote, I know how this looks, and because of that and the financial burden I've put myself in withdrawing from the race, Coons added. The implications of these videos goes against everything I stand for, and I have to accept that no matter my intentions, I will always be viewed as if I were cheating. Gee, do you think? I don't know, dude. Do you really think that people just assume that you're cheating by writing that information in there? Let's think about that long and hard. Would you really be one of those people that, well, would people just assume? I think possibly, yes, they would. They would assume that you're cheating. Yeah, and that's like the reality of it smacking you upside the head, man. Okay, you're not the guy. You're not the guy. So, Coons, Lonnie Coons, a Republican who's against Trump. I think there's only really one thing we could say about you and your further political chances now that you've been found out to be that guy. It's pretty safe to say that, well, you're going down, buddy, because nobody wants to deal with a cheater. Yeah, I mean, it's just nobody wants you.
You asshole.
Okay. All right. So on that note, bye-bye. I don't know if you guys caught up on this one or not, but supposedly Mitch McConnell is not happy right now. And who's he not happy about? Well, it's because this comes from patriotjournal.com, but we're talking about, of all people, oh man. Senator Rick Scott, Republican from Florida, chairman of the National Republican Senatorial Committee, or the NRSC, is pushing a bold but controversial agenda at a time when Senate leader Mitch McConnell, Kentucky, is not laying out jack squat. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud? Is not laying out a governing plan ahead of the midterm elections. McConnell has consciously decided against laying out a governing agenda for the Senate if the Republicans win back the majority in this November. He wants to keep public attention on Biden, whose job approval rating has steadily fallen to 40%. Okay, if you guys know the history of it, when Newt Gingrich, Newt Gingrich, when he put out the contract with America or contract for America, forget which one it was. I think it was contract with America. Everybody was like, okay, this is not hard to understand. It's short. It's concise. Where do we want to go to? Where are we coming from? How are we going to get there? Why are we doing it? And who's the guys who are going to do it? So basically, Scott has done something very similar. He's basically, wants to do a contract with America to win over swing voters and independents. So others like Mike Pence are urging candidates to secure votes with promises of protecting our liberties. Not rocket science. You got to show an alternative. You have to show a reason why you're not the other guys. You have to show a reason why people should lead their horse to your trough and drink. Considering where things are right now with Biden and the rest of that kerfuffle, all you got to say is, we're not doing stuff like they are. That's literally all you have to say. Those of you who are Second Amendment lovers, Second Amendment followers, those people who cherish the Second Amendment. Why? Because you can't have a First Amendment without a Second Amendment. Duh. But anyway, if you want to go to the state with the worst gun control laws, obviously you go to Hawaii. If you want the second worst, you go to California. The once golden state is run by a liberal supermajority, and this was also coming from Patriot Journal. Let's see here. They use every opportunity to push laws that trample American Second Amendment rights. It seems they are far from finishing Americans' access to firearms. But one state senator has introduced an extreme bill that would have forced gun-owning parents to divulge personal information in public schools. Schools would have the power to search a child's backpack or other property for guns. Apparently, that was too much for even liberal lawmakers, so the bill died in committee. It's coming in from Western Journal. Senate Bill 906 would have forced parents or guardians of public school children to notify the state about whether they owned a gun, stalled in committee this week. Yeah, that's kind of stepping on like 4th, 14th, 5th. I can't tell you how many other amendments. Yeah, because you're now basically saying, oh, a piece of property I have to let you guys know about. None of your beep business. The bill was introduced by State Senator Anthony Portantino. A Democrat naturally promised to amend it significantly due to concerns about its scope. Elementary schools have been eliminated. The final version of Bill 906 gone to full Democrat-controlled upper chamber of the California legislature. Portantino's bill only got 2 votes from the Senate Election Committee on Wednesday, failing to advance to a floor vote. Okay, this is the kind of stuff that people need to keep cramming down their senators' throats, going, we know what you're doing. We know why you're doing it, and we won't let you proceed. And if you do, you guys are going to get booted out the blanking door. Speaking of people that really, truly say things and really aren't exactly honest about it, I want to go on for just a second here about Disney. Now, I am going to have to put on the peepers here because it's fairly small font. So give me my lead here for just 1 second here. Where'd I put the little boogers? Oh, they're hiding now. They're hiding. I lost the peepers. All right, I'm going to have to fake it. All right. The Don't Say Gay bill, it merely says you may not introduce sex or trans stuff to kids. And if you do, you can be sued. So Disney started calling it, and also ABC News, which is owned by Disney. So essentially, it's Disney News, for all intents and purposes, started calling it the Don't Say Gay bill. When it says nothing of the like, says nothing about gay, anything. It merely says children from the ages of kindergarten to 3rd grade, you may not do any kind of stuff in their little heads full of, hey, you might be or you might have the ability to do blah, 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 anything sexual, because it's not age appropriate. So essentially what it says is, quote, it prohibits teachers responsible for educating the younger students, or including sexual orientation as part of their classroom curriculum, or on the grounds of a complicated topic of human sexuality is best left to the parents when the children are at such an impressionable age. The bill states that classroom instruction by school personnel or third parties on sexual orientation or gender identity may not occur in kindergarten through grade 3 or in a manner that is not age appropriate or developmentally appropriate for students in accordance with state standards. Okay, now the only reason why Disney and all the fringe elements, shall we say, I'm not going to get into like the whole what team you're rooting for. But the only reason why they're doing this is 2 reasons. The only reason why they want the kids that young is they want to have introduction, they want to have recruitment, and they want to have indoctrination. There's no reason why the school should take primary responsibility for educating the kids about, the he-in and she-in and all the rest of that fun folderol and all the rest of that good stuff like that there, how the parts fit together, how the parts work. That's not the school's job whatsoever. And for them in their arrogance to assert the fact that they say, well, we could teach the kid better than you can, means there's a reason why kids are running out of the schools in their parents' arms, and the parents are carrying the kids off to a private school, is because the public schools are seen as an indoctrination camp and a recruitment drive to make children into other than what they started out as in base elements. Not cool. Let's see. Scroll. Have you guys heard about this guy? But this one is also rather interesting. This guy. Yeah, this. Hang on a second. Let me find the appropriate sound effect here. Hang on. Hang on. I got it, sound guy. This guy. Hang on a second here. We're talking about this guy. No. It's not that at all. Okay. It's not. No. Stop. No, it's not quack. Okay. This King Guy. Yeah. This King Guy. Yeah. We're talking about nobody else than Congressman Fred Upton. Oh man, you want to talk about a world-class piece of how do I say this without saying this? Just a world-class piece of just just that guy. Anyway, so we're talking about Congressman Fred Upton, Republican. I think it's MI, so I think it's Missouri. Announced Tuesday he will not be seeking re-election for the 2022 midterm election. He's represented, Michigan, his sixth congressional district since 1987. He's now the fourth Republican member of the House who's voted for President Donald Trump's impeachment to announce his decision not to seek re-election. Maybe could it be that people are just going to go look at you and go, get out? Yeah. As a former Boy Scout, I believe in leaving the campground better than when I found it. Worked in 7 administrations, 7 House speakers. One of them would call me a rubber stamp. Upton said to the House floor on Tuesday, if it's good policy for Michigan, it's good enough for all of us. Even the best stories have a last chapter. This is it for me. Upton added in an email to supporters. Thanks again to the people of my district who placed their faith and confidence in me all these great years. He needs to go. He needs to go. So let's just do something really simple and stupid here. Let's just find out how old this dinosaur is. Let's just find out how old this dinosaur is. How old is Fred Upton? Let's see. Is there a wiki? There should be a wiki on him. I'm having to cheat now and use the keyboard and everything. He's not as old as you would think, but he's old enough, okay? He's old enough. He's 68. Go home. You turncoat piece of just stinking pile of just you go home. You just go home. And when you go home, we will celebrate your empty office being filled by somebody who's not a hard-won rhino piece of, just get out of there. I don't know if you guys heard about this or not. This one is exceedingly badass. Obviously, you know, Twitter, well, it's got its reputation for being more than just a little bit charitable for siding with the Democrats. Let's just think about that long and hard. Have they ever really had a situation where they would side with Republicans? No, they would not. They do not side with the Republicans any chance possible. They screw them. They try to remove them from platform, and they try to just blow
it out your ass.
Well, how about that? But they definitely try to screw with them. Okay, just give me 1 second here. So anyway, Elon Musk in his infinite wisdom, and obviously because, you know, the guy is not broke, he's done something completely badass. He's issued his first words after buying a massive amount of Twitter stock and working his way onto the board. Just how much did he buy? I think it was like 3.9 billion or something. Wow. I cannot begin to tell you just how cool it is. Purchased a 9.2% stake in Twitter. He now controls 73.5 million shares in the company. In response, Twitter shares jumped more than 25% in price following the release of the news. Why? Because people usually back winners, okay? But the funny thing about it is, I'm looking at this article from Analyzing America, and he put his first tweet up on there after doing that, and it's just, oh, hi, LOL. But immediately there was somebody else. It was Jay Mulholland. Oh, this is fun, folks. My name is Jackson Mulholland. I'm one of the people working here at Twitter, in charge of developing terms and conditions for our users. We're not stripping away, quote unquote, free speech, end quote. We're protecting users from bullies, bigots, and spam. I refuse to work or for Elon Musk. I'm resigning. And there's a rainbow flag. It's like, well, Jackson Mulholland, you can take your toys and basically drag them off in the wagon somewhere else and beat it. Oh, man. But the funny thing about it is like, this guy's like, the thing's already making Twitter. Elon Musk is already making Twitter a better place, and you see that that resignation. I'm working for I'm gonna make Twitter a better place because I'm gonna knock out the conservatives. Yeah, all the bullies and bullies, bigots, and spam. Go home, Jackson Mulholland. I'm sure you can find a place on the internet that'll accept you. Why don't you go work for BuzzFeed? They could use you. Wow. If you guys saw this or not, this one's coming from ammoland.com. And this has been kind of like one of a standard things. I've kind of been like talking about this and like, the what you do and don't do and what you probably want to have on your person. But we've been talking yet again about lessons from handgun defense, failures against bears. Logan Ray in the room. Hope Trump can get back on Twitter and say, did you miss me? Well, technically, Twitter is doing something blatantly illegal right now. And what it is they're disallowing Trump from having his, and good, bad, or otherwise, all his Twitter feed when he was in office. Technically, any generated anything by the president has to be up for public review and introspection, unless it's relegated as secret, or it is something that is seen as something that basically has to be national security. You can't really talk about that in public. They'll strike those down. But Twitter locking his account and pulling that stuff off is basically doing a federal crime, because that stuff should be out to be read. Patriot Fever, Twitter would melt if Elon got Trump back on. I just think it'd be hilarious, man. So anyway, scrolly. So like I said, this AMOLAND thing, they found 3 failures of handguns to stop an attacking bear. Oh, wow. I would not have done this one. August 95, Norway, Svalbard Archipelago, 22 rimfire failure. Polar bear from Spitsberg. Wow. 5 people in the crew set out separately with only a 22 pistol and a flare gun. After an hour's march, the second party was met by a bear 75 meters away and openly aggressive. The bear was distracted either by the warning shot or the flare and attacked one of the party. As he did so, he was shot from a range of only 15 meters and turned against the man who had fired at him. The man tossed the gun to the first, who shot again. The process repeated, with the first man being attacked and then the other. By the time the pistol was emptied and the knife drawn, one man was down and another badly injured. Survivors retreated to the ship. On examination, 3 shots to the head were discovered, none of them pierced in the cranium. Victims had 3 years experience on Origo with many bear observations, and there were sufficient weapons on board to equip everybody. 22 is not what I would grab to face off against a damn polar bear. A 22 can penetrate the vitals of a large bear. To kill the bear quickly with a 22 caliber, it means the shots have to be precise and none of the shots of the 22 in this case were vulnerable parts of the bear's head where the brain would have been hit. It's very difficult to do this if the target is moving. A more powerful cartridge should have been making the difference. Shooting a bear from very close range and knowing where the brain is located inside the bear's head might have made a difference. Tossing the gun to somebody else multiple times doesn't appear to be doing any good tactics. Yeah. Now, this one surprised me. Patriot Fever, the bear must not have believed in ammunition. Wow. Alaska geologist pistol defense failure. Grizzly bear 357 Magnum. Miller managed to pull out his .357 revolver, squeeze off a shot, possibly grazing the animal, then fell on his stomach, dug his face in the dirt, and covered his neck. The bear went for the exposed right arm, gnawing and clawing it, and chipping it to the bone off the tip of the elbow. Attack last 10 to 15 seconds, and the animal lumbered away. He rolled over, was getting to his knee. Bear was only 40 yards again, came in again, managed to fire 2 more shots with his right arm badly injured. He thinks he missed the bear. Then he lay still as the bear gnawed and clawed at him. After the second attack, played dead again, lying still for 3 to 5 minutes, tried to move and realized he couldn't. He was too badly injured. I was hoping it was still in my vest pocket, and it was. I got it out and started radioing Mayday, and nobody answered. New Mexico failure. 38 revolver black bear. Yeah, I've never seen a 38 revolver black bear. It must be a new cartridge. But anyway, 38 revolver, black bear. Hunter received bite injuries to his foot through the boot as he climbed a tree to try to escape the bear. He was taken to Alta Vista Hospital in Las Vegas, New Mexico, where he was treated and released. The hunter told officials he was eating lunch under a tree when he spotted the bear and her cub at the watering hole. Okay, right then and there, retreat. Do not observe a bear with her kid in range because the bear is going to go, guess what? I think you're another bear and you're going to try to eat my kid. I'm now going to basically ramp up the activities. Yeah. Took photographs, started shooting video of the animals. The mother bear got angry and charged. No snap! The hunter, who officials did not identify, climbed a tree to escape. At one point, the hunter fell 15 feet from the tree and managed to climb back up. He fired his pistol in the air at the female bear and attempted to scare her, but the animal didn't leave. He then radioed for help. The officials told officers he found the hunter clinging to the tree nearly 50 feet from the ground. Standing your ground and concentrating on the stopping and or killing the threatening bear is a better tactic, especially for black bears. The above 3 cases were exceptions to use of handguns in defense for bears. In the 120 other documented cases, the firing of a handgun was effective in defense against a bear or multiple bears. Number of conflicts between bears and humans is on the rise, particularly because of increasing bear populations and partly because of increasing human population, obviously encroaching on the bear areas. All 3 species of North America are thriving with increasing populations. Humans are the only species capable of managing bear populations. The number of conflicts between bears and people is small compared to bear populations. If all the threatening conflicts resulted in the death of a threatening bear, the numbers would not be a significant change or population of the percentage of the species. 123 self-defense cases found so far resulted in about 75 to 80 bears being killed over more than 100 years. So it doesn't happen all the time, but man, you better be carrying something that's stoked up with something better than a 22, okay? You ramp up a bear fight with a 22, and the bear is going to be like, okay, that feels like bee stings, but I'm really, really not stopping now. I'm pissed. Bear cubs each year are about 1/3 of the population at the end of the population. Roughly 8% of the bear population is killed each year by adult bears. For every 1,000 bears, about 80 are killed each year by other bears. About as many bears are killed by bears each year for every 1,000 bears that exist have been recorded and killed by people defending themselves with handguns against bears in the last 100 years. Even if the number of unrecorded handgun defense was 10 times as high as recorded defenses, the number is insignificant to the bear population management. Ironically, the number of bear cubs killed by bears is likely to be reduced if adult bears are killed by human beings during hunting or defense and life of property. So basically, if you start zapping the adults, the kids are like, I'm safe. I'm not getting eaten by the encroaching male bear. Because that's what they do. They basically find the mom cranking out kids and goes, oh, these aren't mine. I bet mine in there instead. So he wipes out the other guy's kids and proceeds to try to impregnate the mom bear with his stuff. Population have to be reduced. Firearms have an advantage over the bear spray as a defensive tool because the bear is usually killed rather than leaving a problem bear for the next human to deal with. If a human is injured or killed, the bear is usually killed afterwards. If a person's carrying a handgun to protect against bears, they should be mentally prepared to use the handgun to kill a threatening bear. It's been clearly demonstrated in 3 cases the reluctance to use a handgun in an effective way increases the danger of injury or death. Translation: if you're dealing with a bear and the bear is coming at you, kill the mother cruller. I'm using like one of the slangs from something I've read once. I don't know if you guys heard about this one or not, but obviously you have the encroachment of guys going, I'm now a girl. I'll compete with the chicks. So they describe themselves as transgender athletes because they're not competitive with the other males. Well, if you look at standard biology, obviously they're bigger, they're stronger, they have more lung capacity, larger muscle groups. Technically, it's not a fair fight. So there was a cycle race going to be taking place, and a transgender quote unquote girl was saying, "Hey, I want to be part of this. You're going to have to let me in. I want to compete." Well, it didn't quite work out that way. He got booted from the women's championship after the female competitors threatened to boycott. And this is how you handle this crap. This is coming from conservativefighters.com. A biologically male cyclist who identifies as a female. Well, I identify as me. Okay. I don't worry about, does somebody see me as a guy, girl, or otherwise? I identify as me. Identifies as female was barred from competing in the women's championship race this weekend following threats of boycott from the female competitors. This is how you handle this stuff. Oh, I'm going to go swim with the girls. And all the girls go, okay, cool. Yeah, let's have the competition. The gun fires, and everybody's still standing on the blocks, and this idiot's swimming by himself. That's how you fix this stuff. I refuse to compete with him. They literally just say, we refuse to participate. If you do enough of this stuff, it happens enough times, these transgender, quote, air quotes, girls are going to go, yeah, I'm not competitive with the guys, and I'm really not competitive with the girls because the girls won't have a damn thing to do with me. Yeah. So supposedly began hormone therapy last year, but he was determined to be, quote unquote, ineligible to compete after women threatened to boycott the race. Set a national junior men's record over 25 miles, 2018, has been due to compete against several British Olympians, blah, blah, blah. But they ruled the 21-year-old who began hormone treatment last year to reduce her testosterone levels. Yeah, is currently not compliant with regulations as she is still registered as a male cyclist and therefore cannot compete with women until her male UCI ID expires. I don't care even then if it does expire. If I was a chick and I was dealing with this wannabe girl, I wouldn't have a damn thing to do with them. This one is not good and really, really not good, but I got to be very careful in how I describe it. But this one's coming in from truthpress.news, and we got to be talking about, of all things, yet again, another story about how bad things happen when you get the
Chinese Communist COVID viral infection.
That's right. When you get the component therein of the... So we're talking about the 44 Magnum shot when we're talking about the...
Chinese Communist COVID viral infection.
Okay, we're talking about getting the bang, the 44 Magnum shot. So the World Health Organization is examining potential hearing problems linked to getting the
Chinese Communist COVID viral infection.
amid pushes for fourth dose of the
Chinese Communist COVID viral infection.
The World Health Organization has said it's looking at reports of hearing problems. Yeah, stemming from getting the, getting the, yes. So, according to NBC News, the World Health Organization has reported 367 cases of tinnitus, of which I'm a sufferer. Basically, hardcore ringing in the ears or mild ringing in the ears. Even in silent situations, you have that or whatever it is in your background, you have that. And it's reported among people who have received the Chinese Communist covert viral infection. The condition is characterized by ringing in the ears and usually occurred within 1 day of getting the by the patients who had reported it. Patients experienced the side effect ranged in age. Hang on a second here again. Ranged in age from I hate these stupid pop-ups. Ranged in age. Hang on a second here, stupid thing. Ranged in age from 19 to 91. Holy crap. 75% of those reported the condition were women. Okay, so here's something else that really makes me not want to get the That's all. Wowzers. Wow. Patriot fever in the room. Polar bear must. One guy says he's a chick just so he can encroach somewhere. Now, Patriot fever, I think what it is he's just not competitive with the dudes, and he's like, I know, I'll try to beat the girls because that's actually closer to my own skill level and physical ability. Never mind the fact, dude kind of looks a little spindly, shall we say? Yeah, maybe he will make a good air quotes girl. On that note, I think I'm pretty much coming to the end of the show time. Woof. All right, appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight on a Tuesday. You guys have many other things to do, but you guys hung out with me and decided to simply thank you so kindly for you guys coming by yet again. Another iteration of Dude After Dark. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Of course, it will be up on review on Facebook, and of course, it'll be reviewing up again on YouTube. So good stuff like that there. If you guys want to check it out, and of course, it'll be up there. I may put out a video this week. I don't know. I got some stuff to play with, like, I don't know, some new maybe? Yeah, new knives. I probably should do another dude's knife blog. It's been a while since I've done one of those. I probably should do another entry. That'd be kind of fun. But I'm gonna bring up this one, folks. So eat good, keep thundering as always. You know you love it, and I appreciate your kind attentions. You guys hanging out with me. You get a gold star for attendance, and I'll catch you guys next week. See you guys.